If you are in the mood for a delicious, fresh and zesty baked good, you have come to the right place, my friends. I'm going to show you how to make a lemon curd cake. Simple to make, and it starts off like any good cake in a mixer with some creamed butter and sugar. So you need softened butter when you start this. So I have some softened butter that goes straight in, and to this I have some super fine sugar, which is essential for that lovely, light and airy cake. So straight into the mixer and blitz it up until it's nice, pale and fluffy. As this is mixing through, it's important just to make sure that you scrape down the sides, just so that you get a nice even finish on your cream, sugar and butter mixture. And straight back on with the rest of that mixture. Okay, this is looking really good, so just scrape it down again, and we're going to add in our eggs one at a time. It is essential that you do this one at a time so the mixture doesn't split. So take your time with it, beat after each time you add the egg, and then keep adding the eggs until they're all in. It's mixing time. Okay, we are in business. This looks really good. So we're going to get in with our extra ingredients. I've got some lemon zest, and it is essential for this fresh tasting cake that you add the lemon zest. And the instant you start using that microplane to grate it in, the smell is so incredible, really fresh flavor. Once you've got all of that zest in there, we're going to add even more lemon freshness by adding the juice as well. The best tip I can give you is when you're adding the lemon juice in here, squeeze it through your hands just to ensure that you get no pips in there. It looks like a lot of lemon action here, but believe me, you're going to be left with a beautifully moist, lemony fresh cake. Once you have all the juice in there, it's also time to add some vanilla extract. And now it's time to just mix all of that back up. Okay, this is looking really good, so I'm going to lower down the speed, and slowly I'm going to fold in the flour. Start with half of it, mix it through, and then add the rest. The reason you're adding the flour slowly is that you don't want to overmix the gluten in there, so take your time with this. This is ready for its next addition. Also, a good reason not to do it on high speed is that you will be left in a cloud of smoke. So, you know, it's up to you. If you like that sort of thing in the kitchen, by all means do it. This is coming together beautifully, and just to give it a little rise, we're going in there with some baking powder. Okay, I can mix this a little bit stronger now, and it's looking pretty good. So just to loosen the batter, I'm going to add a tablespoon or so of milk. Okay, this is looking beautiful. It's mixed through. We've got a fantastic fresh batter. And now I have 2 tins lined with some baking paper. You do need to make sure that you grease these up and that you use the parchment paper, otherwise you won't get them out of the tin. So remove the mixer from the stand and then just distribute these evenly between the 2 cake tins. I actually learned how to make this recipe from a real-life Irish nun. I was visiting and she taught me how to make this, so I can guarantee that the results are going to be heavenly. Spread that batter evenly across the base of your 2 cake tins. These now go into the oven preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 180 degrees Celsius, and they're going to cook for 20 minutes. You know that they're done when they've risen up, they've become nice and golden on top, and if you insert a skewer to the center, it won't be moist at all. So, my cakes have come out of the oven, they have cooked, and now they have cooled on a wire rack, so it's time to talk about the frosting. This is a super simple buttercream frosting that starts off with some icing sugar in my stand mixer. In alongside my icing sugar, go straight in there with some softened butter, and it is essential with this icing that you make sure the butter is nice and soft. So bring this head down and then just slowly mix this through. As soon as this starts coming together, you can whack up the speed and you'll be left with a beautiful buttercream frosting. Okay, this looks so good right now. We've got a smooth buttercream frosting, so get that mixer off. And now it's time to mix this through. So just fold through that icing. And to give it a little touch of flavor, I'm going in there with some vanilla extract. So just a touch of vanilla extract going in. Give that a good mix, and you should be left with a nice pale looking frosting, which is going to be perfect for our lemon curd cake. Now, the one thing we haven't spoken about yet in our lemon curd cake is the lemon curd. I have some which is store-bought. You can very easily pick this up in jars. Alternatively, you can make it at home. But now that we have our lemon curd and now that we have our beautiful frosting, it's time to assemble this cake. So grab up your cake stand. I have these rested cooled cake bases, which I'm just going to transfer this one here. So grab up some of that buttercream frosting and spread this on top. You want to use a palette knife like this just to smoothly spread this across the base. It's not going to matter too much about how it looks in the center, but when it gets to the top, you do need to make it look pretty. Okay, this is now the perfect vehicle for our lovely, luscious lemon curd. So grab a generous spoonful of this gloopy, lemony mixture and spread it straight on the top. You don't want to overfill here because remember, you're going to add that second cake top and it's just going to spread out the sides. And if it does, it's not the end of the world, but just smoothly spread this just about to the edges. This is now ready for our second cake base. So stick that straight on and you can give it a nice little press just to make sure the lemon curd oozes around the sides. This is looking awesome. Grab up some more of that frosting just to spread over the top. And this is coming together as one beautiful cake. So grab up that spatula and just spread it across. And this is where you do need to be a little bit more delicate. This is the top of the cake, so you got to make it look pretty. It's wobbling quite a lot with all that lemon curd in there. You could just imagine when you slice through this, you're going to get that really fresh hit of sweetness and citrus goodness. Slightly living dangerously and pushing it right to the edge, but you know what? This is going to be worth it. So dollop on some more of that lemon curd and just spread it in a nice little circle in the center. Just smooth this off to the edges, and to finish it off and make it look even more pretty, I'm just going to use the zest of a lemon over the top. Just give a few little curls of that lemon and it just looks so good. This is the perfect show-stopping cake to serve at a dinner party with loads of friends. They are going to be ultimately impressed. Okay, this looks so fantastic. Dripping lemon curd, that wonderful sponge cake. And now I'm going to have to ruin it and dive in and taste it. So take a nice, generous slice and it looks so good. This is what it's all about. Luscious layers of buttercream frosting, lemon curd and all that action. And now I just need to plop it over here and dive in. It's really citrusy fresh. And it is the most intense, fresh sweetness. That cake is wonderfully spongy. It's got that rich buttercream frosting, but the intense hit of the lemon curd is just so good. It's lip-puckeringly good.